Today's episode of the Nateland podcast is brought to you by Chubby's. Aaron? Sorry. All right. Out of the gate.
I bought an ad block for the
Because I appreciate it, bud. Game time. Helix and Butcher Box.
Which sounds like me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, folks, and hey, Bear. Welcome to the Nateland podcast. Brought to you by no, I already did that. Brought to you by Nate Bargatze. I'm Nate, Aaron, Brian Bates,
Yep.
your boy
All right.
Aaron Weber, and filling in for Dusty, a cleaned up Dusty,
Yeah.
Stephen Rogers.
I love that every guest is just a different version of Dusty.
Yeah.
We got the
Mhm.
handsome Dusty. We got
Yeah.
cleaned up Dusty.
This is a cleaned up Dusty.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. You wouldn't have been out spraying pesticide long. They'd have brought you into the office.
Yeah.
I would have stayed in the store. for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Easily. Steven, very funny comedian. He's with me. You come out the road with me a bunch, and
Mhm.
you're in New York, and so you were out this weekend. So yeah, thanks for
having me.
yeah, we're glad to have you, bud.
Yeah.
It's a fun time. This is a very fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what Nate always says about you? Very first time I never even met you. I think first time you ever worked together, he said,
boy.
Steven is a great hang. And he said that multiple times, including I think last weekend on the pod. He's never said you're funny, but
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
always a great hang.
He said the best hang, actually.
The best hang.
wow.
The best
yeah,
hang.
yeah.
No,
Means a lot.
Steven. So, all right. The
That's a big speech coming.
Listen up, everyone.
the hang for comedians, the hang is so much. It's so important. The hang is a lot. Your act and being funny is like, in the grand scheme of things, you should be funny. Like we're not.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even be really in the conversation
Right.
of like the act.
Yeah.
The hang is everything, and if you can't do that, then you're. I mean, it's really I don't care how good of a comic you are. You'd be like, well, then you're not worth bringing out on the road.
Yeah.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Because it's only 90 minutes of a show
Yeah.
and the 23 hours left in the day. I didn't do the math right, but you
Yeah.
know, I'm not a great math hang, but you know, there's so much more time, like
Yeah.
driving, flights, airports.
Meals.
Yeah.
And that's the whole job. That's the
Yeah.
fun part too.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
that's the part that's like, you come up with jokes sometimes. And
Yeah.
You do this and you're willing, you go do whatever and you're like, hey, we're gonna go do this. You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Mhm.
Like it's the best.
Yeah. I
It's the
love
best. We had fun this weekend.
it. A lot of fun.
Went and did, I don't know if we did anything though. Well, St. Louis we did what did we do? We didn't really go do anything crazy.
Oh, you
Mm.
broke the attendance record at one of the country's
Yeah.
most historic
Yeah.
theaters.
Well,
Yeah.
besides that,
Well, it was a lot of meals.
a lot of meals.
like hangs at the table, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah. You had 3 p.m. shows Saturday and Sunday, so
Yeah.
that kind of
That makes it hard.
prevents you from doing a lot during
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah.
yeah.
You wake up and you're like, well, I want to be getting into show mode around noon or something. So it's tough
basically,
to, you got a couple hours to play around with.
Yeah.
But it was a great time.
Good,
So
yeah.
fun.
A lot of good comedy talk.
Yes. Yeah.
There would be, people always talk about comedy talk, but no one likes it. And we love it so much.
That's all we do.
It's
Yeah.
all, yeah.
It's all I'm good for, I feel like, at times.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we've established that. We've made
Yeah.
that clear right off the
Once
top.
we get into the other stuff, I'm going to be pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, but you if you could, have like this podcast is just comedy talk.
Mhm.
hmm
But, it'd be like we're going out for a small audience because it's not going to be a big audience.
Right.
No,
People are annoyed by it.
we're gonna
Yeah.
whittle it down to just.
If you go do it on Rogan now, I think Rogan, like if he has a comic on, I think they're just like,
I get
yeah.
I get disappointed when I go to a Rogan episode and it's not even touched upon, but they are listening to the rest of the audience by not doing it.
Yeah.
But I want every nugget I can get from comics
Yeah.
talking
Yeah.
so much.
I know a guy who sat behind Kirk Herbstreit and I think Reese Davis, the rest of the College Game Day crew at a restaurant, like the back of his booth touched theirs,
Yeah.
and he heard them, and they were just arguing about college football
The
the whole
time.
meal. And you're
Yeah.
like, well,
That's
this
great.
is just that's what you want out of
That's
it.
what.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
just love it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime when someone says that thing, I don't want to talk about work. You're like, it's kind of well in an elected, like not elected, but in a chosen field of this stand up or like announcers. If someone's like, well, I don't really want to talk about work, you're like, well, then you're not going to make it, and you're actually
Yeah.
kind of pointless to talk to.
Well, then it's definitely
If you're talking to someone that has made it,
Mhm.
it's like, well, we can't even really have a conversation. It's
Yeah.
like when you talk to a comic that's, that kind of dabbles in it. I mean, it's like talking to, and you think like, oh, we're about to have like real comedy talk, and then it's just like very base
Mhm.
comedy talk, and then you're like, this is, it's not even enjoyable. Now I don't want to talk about work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've made it
You
worse.
made it
Yeah.
work.
Now I could really bond with that guy,
Yeah.
No, Brian, come on.
but there are different levels. And in all seriousness, you really can't. People can't fully experience and understand what you go through unless they really are selling out big venues.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm just talking about in general,
Yeah.
talking comedy, talking shop.
Jokes. Yeah.
Jokes like this
Jokes.
guy did this. We were talking a lot about specials this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Getting in the weeds of it.
Yeah.
Inside baseball, man.
I
It's fun.
love it.
I love it too.
so much.
Well, we were in St. Louis. We had a blast. We had shows were awesome. Really can't thank everybody enough for coming out. That was a rescheduled date from Saturday Night Live. So it was, just really was the best weekend. And yeah, Fox Theater's beautiful and
It's awesome.
it's, the whole nine. It was,
Yeah.
it was great. Saw Sonny Gray, boy Sonny. Had a great game yesterday.
Perfect
Mhm.
through 6 innings.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then came to Nate's show after.
Yeah.
And was recounting it pitch by pitch, basically.
Wow.
That's something I've noticed. These athletes, they can recall like details of a game. He was like, yeah, it was 2-1. I threw a slider. And then, yeah.
At first, I thought you were saying he was perfect through 6 and pulled himself out to go to Nate's show.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what?
He's not going to miss Nate's
He's
show.
on the mound.
Yeah.
He canceled him.
I go, Sonny, come on now. You told me you're going to be there.
Yeah. We'll start late, but
Everybody throws a perfect game, Sonny.
It was a 1 p.m. game, 7
Mhm.
p.m. show. So the game was over by the time
I
Yeah.
got you.
he got there. Yeah.
We couldn't even, because then the night, we had Mike Yashimsky, Kurt from the
Giants.
Giants.
yeah.
And then, because everybody played at Vandy. And then Sonny. And so they're all buddies, but they were competing against each other that
Mhm.
day. And so, yeah. And Aaron's a giant baseball fan. So it was fun to hear, like, because you got to hear some
They're
real
talking about
insight.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just a fly on the wall. Like,
Yeah,
this is
that's
awesome,
awesome.
dude.
Fly ball.
Yeah, they talk about it too, like we talk about it. Fly.
Fly ball on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of stuff I bring to a hang.
Good time. He throws it out there, boys.
This guy is a
Yeah.
great hang.
This is it. That's what Steven does bring. And you go, it's not material. It's just he shows up. And that's what you like.
I swing. I'm constantly swinging.
Yeah.
Constantly swinging.
Baseball.
That's true.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, well, baseball humor. Yeah. Where were you at?
I did a show in my hometown of Lebanon, Tennessee, with our buddy Derek Stroop,
Mm.
and I have imposter syndrome before every show, but something about being in my hometown.
Yeah.
I got there early, and I'm watching people going in, and I was like, "What in the world am I going to say that's going to be any different than what they could?" You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I really almost just psyched myself out. It ended up being a great show. They were a great crowd. I really do think anybody could have gotten up there and gotten a few laughs. This crowd was so good. But it was awesome show. Derek destroyed, of course.
It was in the round, right?
It was in the round.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So the arena tour.
But you had a little
Help me out,
experience
yeah.
doing shows in the
I
round.
said, let me show you how to do this, buddy. No stage, but it was in the round.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun.
And then I did my first official Don't Tell comedy show this week. I say official because I've had plenty of Don't Tells unofficially. But this was an official. And have we ever talked about what Don't Tell comedy
I don't think so.
is?
Yeah.
It's basically, you probably can explain it better than I can, but you know that it's going to be in your town,
Right.
probably your part of town,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So like in this case, it was in Brentwood. People know ahead of time there's a show in Brentwood. They buy tickets. The day of the show, that morning, they get an email where the venue is going to be. And it's usually like, in my case, it was at a barbershop, something like that. And then they show up that night.
Secret lineup.
Yep.
The idea is it's like a fun, exclusive thing
Mm-hmm.
that's all secretive, and you're going to be in a cool venue that you've never been to.
Yeah, it's never a venue that is built for what you're seeing,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
which is cool. And then, the lineup's always a secret. And then it's always packed. I've never been to a Don't Tell that's like, what is this?
I did one at a
Everyone knows.
lingerie store once.
Man.
Talking about, my kind of place for a show. Just like, my kind of people in there. But, there are a lot of fun.
Your comedy.
But they're really exploding across the country. I think that's like in over 100 cities just in the U.S.
They're everywhere, man.
And but I've never done one. I mean, some comics have blown up from videos.
Yeah.
From those Don't Tell.
Yeah.
So
Stroop had one, right?
Mhm.
He just had one, do really, really well.
Ralph Barbosa.
Barbosa. Yeah.
Mhm.
Catherine Blanford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did one.
So did I.
Yeah. No,
That's
no,
okay.
it's not.
That's okay.
Steven and Aaron. Go check out Steven and Aaron. Don't Tell.
Yeah, we didn't blow up.
Huh?
We didn't blow up, but I can do the lingerie one if
You
if
didn't
the
tell
booker's
anybody.
listening.
We had good, reliable sets.
Yes, it was. They're
That's what we
super
did.
fun.
Yeah.
You're
Great Haynes.
you're the grease that keeps everything rolling.
That's right.
Yeah.
We make sure that there's videos on the side.
Yeah. All right, we can just start comments, right? That's
Let's
about
get
kind of
into
quick
it.
into it.
Let's get into it.
Leslie Cooner. I think that's it.
I think you're right.
I
I like how you got into it.
Yeah.
Such a fun and great show this weekend, and the perfect way for my husband and I to celebrate our wedding anniversary. Thank you for rescheduling St. Louis after SNL and for adding the extra shows. Do you have to get into a different mindset to go back and forth from stadiums to theaters? Thank you all, and keep it up.
Brian, you want to take this one?
Sure.
I was kidding.
Yeah. Something about you, like, when you go to a Titans game or a play.
That is true. Because she didn't even say arenas. She said stadiums. Well, I'm in the back of the room for both, but at a theater, it's like you're sitting up close at a football game.
It's different.
Do you feel yourself wanting to spin around at a theater?
No, it's funny to not hear people behind you laughing though. After doing it so long, where you're just swallowed in the laughs.
Yeah.
The arenas are, really just so crazy, man, because you're just surrounded by it, just laughter everywhere. It's just very fun. But a theater, theaters are, that's the original, like that was the best thing for it. This specific theater, being Fox Theater, is like very old. It looks beautiful. It's a very, very special place. So to do that, we were, I don't know if you get in a different mindset. It is a different thing. It's, it's the pacing. I think I was like not knowing how to stand was probably because I'm so used to kind of making a circle and then, now just going back to my old way of.
Yeah. Well, I love about in the round, and I've heard you say it before, is it does wake you up a little bit more because you have to you want to make sure everyone's got a good view at some point. You're moving around.
You know what? I could feel some jokes. I thought I can tell that they hit harder in an arena because of the screen.
Yes.
Interesting.
So they can see
Because
your
of
facial
expression.
expression.
Or
Yeah.
something?
Like there's just, and it's not that they don't hit hard in the theater, but like you just realize
Yes.
it's pretty interesting to
Mhm.
see, to go, wow, that joke
Mhm.
in the arena, because I was in the arena, I'll time it out to the camera.
Mhm.
And so then I make the face to the camera.
Mhm.
And then that's just you can hear the extra.
Mhm.
Where in a theater, it's like, I mean, people can see your face, but I'm farther back. They can't see your face
Mhm.
that much. Not to really get a facial expression.
Yeah.
So that aspect of it was, definitely pretty interesting. This joke I'm telling where I'm bent down like that.
Yeah, what's going on there?
So that's one joke I tell. I wore that shirt. I didn't wear it again the second show. I liked it because you could zip it up. I want to be zipped up right now
Yeah.
because of just my tubbo body and
Is
just
that the sponsor?
yeah. I got it. It is Chubby's. Yeah, I mean I'm right there. So
Yes.
Were you still doing keto?
I kind of can you turn the air down? Yeah. So fat. I gotta go.
He's sweating.
Yeah. Turn it down, Lauren. Turn it all the way down to 58.
The AC up, actually.
Turn
Right?
it down.
Down in temperature.
Turn the temperature down, but turn the AC up. You want it
Yeah.
to be colder?
I say, can you cut it down?
Cut it down.
And then that's it.
Okay.
And then everybody does it.
And it's just kind of understood in the house. That's what it
I think if I
means.
said that, you would get the vibe of that. You don't think it's like, was he cold? I mean, you got to be out of your mind right now.
I think it's about to get hotter in this room. You're going to wonder why. And
I know, but are you not?
of course, I'm always hot.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean,
Yeah. I'm happy you said that.
yeah.
I was just curious the way you said
Bottled up. So, but that joke specifically that joke would get a big laugh in the better, but then it got really good in the arenas
Mhm.
because we got it good on the screen when the joke, what I'm doing in that moment. But yeah, it interesting. It is interesting. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, dude, it was awesome.
Yeah.
They were awesome.
They were really
And you're
great.
back in the theater doing a wired mic.
Yeah, haven't done a wire mic in a while. Had Greg Warren out. Greg Warren did, Dustin Nickerson, Greg Warren, Steven, Aaron, me.
Pretty great show.
Really,
It was a good
really
show.
great.
It was a good show.
That show in the round I did was a wired mic.
Wired mic in the
After a
round.
few turns,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, I can't move.
You were all
Yeah.
bundled up.
I had to start going the other direction just to unwind.
You have to constantly shake it. If not,
Yeah.
it's because my last special had a wired. You got to just constantly
Mhm.
kind of grab it and shake it
hmm
so it kind of stays.
Mm.
Lego Sunday Masses. Look at that name.
Mhm.
Do you guys pick out the music that plays before your stand-up shows? The music at the Fox Theater in St. Louis is great. Yeah, we do. I think Tony, our promoter, is the one that put the
He picks
List
great
together.
music.
Yeah. And I would tell him the vibe. The vibe I want it to be just happy, and people would be like, "Oh yeah, this song's nice," and
Yeah.
get everybody in a pleasant mood.
It's almost like wedding songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like everybody
Yeah.
knows them.
Everybody, we're not, and then everybody could be, you're not mad that it's on. You're like just
Mhm.
having a good time.
Yeah. I find it makes me like a little more energetic as I walk out because I was listening to the music. So it works for me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's the main reason we're doing it. I guess need Steven to get.
In the zone.
I think the question was to Steven.
It makes me
I mean-
finally want to be there.
I misread the question. Steven, do you pick out the music that plays before your stand-up show?
I was saying what I thought you wanted to say.
Yeah. It gets me in the mood. It gets me excited. I thought the work was enough to get you.
No,
Because we got to fire him up.
yeah. Like finally the music. This hang's
Steven's got a
brutal.
lot of demands.
You got to keep carrying the hang, Want some good
Yeah.
music.
Yeah. There you go. Everybody at home's like, how good's this hang? I go, it's a good hang. There you go. Yeah. Erica Zakzuski. Zach, that R is the one that's the problem.
That's tough.
Erica Zakrzewski.
That second Z isn't easy either.
Zakrzewski. Erica Zakrzewski.
Bless you.
Yeah. Yeah. Can someone make a highlight video of Nate reading comments starting from the beginning leading up to now? Such an improvement. Actually pretty cool to see. Educational podcast through and through. Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
You have made great strides.
Being a better reader.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
good. Taylor Knott. I often have lucid dreams. My most memorable one would have been when I dreamed Jay Leno and Conan O'Brien broke into my house. Are you laughing at me or
a little bit both? Yeah.
My most memorable one would have to be when I dreamed Jay Leno and Conan O'Brien broke into my house and took my mother hostage.
Oh my God!
I felt very scared until I remembered I was in a dream. I quickly jumped straight in the air, traveled across the room, and kicked them both in the face to save my mom. They never stood a chance. Love the pod.
Wow.
Man.
It's a way more fun dream than I think the ones I'm having these days.
That's a real lucid dream.
Yeah.
Like that's what those, like when Pete Holmes and Barry Mono talk about, like they can do it's like a movie, you know. Jasmine Lozano. I've had a few lucid dreams. Oh. I was in school stressing out and looking for a class and looked down and saw my wedding ring. I immediately knew I was dreaming, so I jumped in a school bus and crashed it on purpose.
Oh, man.
Oh, so they were in school stressing out and looking for a class and looked down and saw my wedding ring. I immediately knew. Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's like when you're in control of it, dude.
You better really be sure you're in a dream.
Well, that's what they say.
You immediately go, well, let me go crash a school bus.
Well,
it's like, man, maybe confirm it a few different ways. You
know? Well, that's what they do. Like you could jump and see if you come down. Like if you know, then you're like, oh, I'm not. This is. But that's what they have to figure out that they're in a dream.
Yeah, in Inception, I think they have a token.
Yeah.
Something.
Spin it if it never
stops. If you're not sure you're dreaming, hijack a school bus, drive it off a cliff.
No,
and
this
just
is how
see
I
what
find
happens.
out.
Yeah.
There's a song by Alice Cooper, Welcome to My Nightmare.
Whoa.
Where he talks about his wife dying and he kills her and he thinks it's in his dream, but he wakes up and he had actually killed her in real life.
Oh my goodness.
His name's Steven.
School.
Oh, the guy did it.
You're doing that to mess with me?
Why?
That's the album I was named after.
What?
Yeah. I'm obsessed with Alice Cooper.
What?
Yeah. Well,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Everything I said was true.
Yeah. That's
Everything I said is true, but I brought it up because he was named after that character.
Yeah.
You're named after character.
He was.
I was named after the song Steven by Alice Cooper.
The guy I just referenced.
And what did Steven do?
And the whole album is about a kid named Steven who gets stuck in his own nightmare.
Yeah.
And it's like every song's something that's happening in the nightmare. And then he does have there's a song mentioning crimson dots. And he dreams that he killed someone, then he wakes up and realizes that he did.
Oh, that he did.
Yeah.
So let's name our kid after him.
Yeah. And then he messes with dead bodies and does some terrible, terrible things.
Yeah, but it's all
but school's
the music's
out.
great.
Yeah. The music's great. It's fun.
Yeah, it is really fun.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of like the music where you if you're not noticing.
You're like, it's a pretty good time.
You're like, these are great. And then you look at some of the words and you're like, oh, this is a different thing than I thought.
Is your parents into music like that?
Yeah, my dad's a big classic rock guy.
Okay.
Yeah. And he liked Alice a lot.
And so he went with just the pretty common name Steven.
His dad's name's Steven. I don't think it's from Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Steven from the Bible.
It's funny it's funny to it's just a regular name though. It's like I was named after the Beatles. Your name's John. All right. Well, I mean,
not Walrus.
Yeah.
Your brother's name is Pinball Wizard.
Steven from Alice Cooper. No one was going to guess that.
No, and they never do.
Yeah, they never do. Yeah, that's crazy. So you're a big Alice Cooper fan.
Big Alice Cooper fan.
You've been to his shows and
I've seen him over 15 times.
Whoa.
wow.
16?
Are you the only one that looks like you?
I am the only one that looks like me. I'm the only one in orange at the Alice Coopers.
Yeah, you have to be. Have you met him?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've met him a couple times. I used to. I would do meet and greets and stuff, and he would pretend to choke me. Family stuff, and we got a picture of me being choked by him, and then I got a shirt of him of that picture, and then every time I would see him, I would get a picture of him choke me with the shirt on and make a wormhole.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I can tell you right now, that's.
I'm a great hang.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's. I mean, for Alice Cooper's like, oh, good.
Let me guess. I know what we're going to do.
Yeah. You're like, with your parents, you're still there. You're like, guys.
Did you tell him
right? How old are you now, son? He goes, 32 years old, still with your parents?
Yeah.
Just alone?
I'm going with my dad this summer.
Yeah. They'll get meet and greet?
No, we didn't do it this time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I learned from my research, Alice Cooper, that's the name of the band. That's not him.
He named the band Alice Cooper, but then they started calling him Alice Cooper, so he changed his name to Alice Cooper.
Whoa.
His real name's Vincent Fernier.
Oh, wow.
But Steven's like his alter ego, right?
Yeah.
Steven is just the character from Welcome to My Nightmare, but Steven comes up a lot in the albums.
Yeah.
What's crazy about the song Steven is there's like ghostly women whispering my name in it.
Yeah.
So if I'm listening to it with headphones, it can creep you out a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
You call him Vinny by now? You're on a first name basis with him? You've met him over 15 times?
Yeah, you've met him a bunch.
Yeah.
He's a big golfer.
He's a huge golfer.
Yeah.
He has a book about how it saved his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you met him in like outside of meet and greet, that'd be fun.
Yeah. I would lose my mind. Yeah.
I try to figure a way to meet Alice Cooper.
We'll make it
If
happen.
you ever golf with him, I would lose it.
Does he live here?
He lives in Arizona, I think.
Okay.
I bet he would remember you too.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean, you being a weirdo that's taking the same picture and wearing his wormhole.
And is
How
named
many times
after
did you
his
do that?
album. Yeah.
I did it at probably 5 or yeah.
I mean, come on, you don't forget that.
Yeah, my dad once made. This is embarrassing. My dad got a tape of my stand up and gave it to.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hope it wasn't from this weekend.
Boom.
He gave it to Alice Cooper? It said what? Like, this is what you did?
Yeah, and I was real bad. I was real bad.
Was it early on?
It was early.
Yeah.
It was too
That doesn't
early.
even work when you do that to late night shows.
No. So I haven't heard back.
Yeah. I think I've met Alice Cooper at a golf thing. I want to go now. Now we're gonna find him, Stephen. Get you and your dad. Your mom a fan?
No,
just you and your dad.
Yeah,
we got to do it.
Oh man,
that's fun.
That'd be awesome.
Here's Alice Cooper listening to Steven stand up.
What is this?
That's your dad handed it to him.
Can you imagine?
Can you turn the AC up even more? I just got real hot on that one.
Can you imagine?
Oh man!
Like, say we're at my show, and then Alice Cooper came back to St. Louis. No one would even remotely, and then like seeing Steven like starting to like get nervous and
sweating and
freaking out, and you're like, what is wrong with you?
Or Alice is meeting you, and he goes, "Steven, what are you doing here?"
The thing is, like, that when you're around the people that you like
look
you
up
guys
to.
would do better around him than I would, and it would mean more to me.
Sure.
Yes, of course.
That's what stinks about that stuff.
Yes, but I never in a million years would have thought that you would be that.
Oh, love it.
Like that starstruck.
It's very. He's very funny, and it's just really great. I love it.
Aaron, you want to tell us about Chubbies?
Well, it was a good day because my Chubby shorts got here. They did.
I actually wore mine today.
Been a fan of Chubbies for a while. I remember hearing about them when I was in college, and I thought, man, I want to get me some. It's a lifestyle apparel brand that makes every moment feel like a vacation. We just talked about fashion a couple weeks ago. Let me tell you, Chubbies is the gateway to true fashion and comfort. They offer high-quality men's apparel. They offer everything from super stretchy shorts and swim trunks and 3 short inseam lengths, from pants to polos and even button-down shirts. The short shorts, they're not short shorts, but
they're shorter.
They're shorter.
I wore mine today.
They're awesome.
Actually, they were awesome.
Super comfortable. They look nice. Like you can golf in them if you want to. I've been wearing the original stretch shorts. They fit me great. I went with the 5.5 inch length, just to keep everybody on their toes a little bit.
That's like a little bit farther down or a little bit up.
It's a little bit up, a little more up than I would normally wear.
Yeah.
But once you do it, you're like, this is how it
what's
should
normal?
be.
11?
Maybe in an and one mixtape.
Yeah.
They're 11 inches. But listen, experience unmatched comfort and style with Chubby's iconic original stretch shorts. Depending on how much your thigh, how much you want to show it, Chubby's makes them in 4 inches, 5.5 inches, and 7-inch inseams. That's going to be the more traditional length. These shorts seriously have the stretchiest fabric for ultimate movability and flexibility while having a perfectly tailored fit. Listen, whether you're getting dressed for your workday, a workout, or a weekend getaway, Chubby's has you covered. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving our viewers 20% off your order with our code NATE at chubbysshorts.com. That's code NATE at chubbysshorts.com. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubby's.
I put those shorts on today.
They're awesome.
They're awesome. Michael Campton. I've had a lot of lucid dreams, and one thing about them is they're fragile. When you first realize you're in one, you want to go crazy and fly, but you wake up. Once I learned more, I would tell myself in the dream to take it easy and go slow, and they will last longer.
Okay.
Makes sense.
It's going to be hard to do. To the restraint, to be like, all right, I can do anything.
Well, the fact that you can do
my seatbelt. I could do it.
Yeah. The fact that you could do it that much that you learn to go, all right, well, don't do this and don't do that,
How much are y'all sleeping?
I've had plenty of dreams where, like that one previously, it doesn't make sense, but I don't think, oh, this is a dream. I just think, boy, it makes no sense, but I keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Coolbeth. And that's his last name or like his internet thing?
Coolbeth. Nah, Coolbeth probably.
You think it's his last name?
I think that's Coolbeth. Because it's Dan. Why would he go by Coolbeth if his name's Dan?
Maybe his wife.
That's a weird thing to do.
Well, they make you do weird things.
Could be in love.
Brian Coolruth. That'd be crazy.
Well, she is the cool one.
Yeah, so it'd be accurate. She ain't gonna do Ruth Cool Brian. I'll tell you that.
You guys missed an opportunity to talk about the best ending of a sitcom ever. The ending of Bob Newhart's show, where he wakes up next to his wife from a previous show and says, "I just had the weirdest dream."
That's great. You remember that, Brian?
I do. I meant to mention that last week and I didn't get to it. It's very funny because he had 2 successful sitcoms, and at the end of the second one, his wife from the first one is in bed. I mean, basically just what this person said. It's a very funny scene.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, out of nowhere, dude. Yeah, I knew it. It's really awesome. So you go do this whole other series. It's its own different, completely thing. And just imagine when everybody's watching that for the first. I mean, they don't. It's like, again, like this stuff is so new that it's like they're not doing stuff like this. And then at the end of it, he just out of nowhere,
a reunion and a finale.
Yeah,
and before spoilers were a thing.
Yeah,
so no one saw that coming.
Yeah,
amazing.
Was the show kind of slapstick where that made sense in the world of the show, or was it totally?
He's like a joke. Very dry.
Okay, it was like just a family sitcom kind of
just a multicam and
wow.
And he explains the premise of the show that is wrapping up to his wife from the previous show, and it's murdering because it's stuff that it's like a crazy. He's saying it like it's a crazy dream, so it's all punchlines. It's
wow, it's like a Jerry Stiller in Camp Queens woke up and he was back in Seinfeld.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah, like if Estelle from Seinfeld was the one in bed.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. He woke up as George's dad.
Because
he
wakes up first. He like sits up in bed, and then his wife gets up, and it gets like this huge reaction. If I remember,
yeah. Applause break.
Yeah.
No one knows what's going on.
Yeah, I love it.
Another one I thought of on the show Dallas. Patrick Duffy's character, he wanted to leave the show. I think he just wanted to pursue other stuff or had a contract dispute or something. So they kill him off at the end of the episode. He dies in a car accident.
Was he JR?
No, it's his brother.
Okay.
This is Bobby Ewing.
Yeah.
JR's brother. Over the summer, they work things out. He decides he wants to come back, but now he's been killed off. So episode 1 of the new season, his wife walks in and he's in the shower. And she said, I just had the craziest dream. And they just wiped out the entire last season, just pretend like it didn't happen.
Oh, wow.
Just to get him back on the show.
Were people mad about that at the time? Or
they were, including some of the actors, because they had a storyline that they liked.
Right.
That was about that.
And now that's just all gone.
Wow.
Because they were writing around a problem of him leaving, and then it's all undone.
Yeah.
Was Patrick Duffy a fan favorite? So like people were happy to keep him around, the fans?
I don't know. I mean, he was a big part of it.
Who did you like when you were watching? Because you were watching this as it was happening.
I was a kid, so my parents.
But you were into it. Yeah.
I mean, Larry Hagman was one of the iconic characters.
Yeah. You gotta really know Larry Hagman was.
J.R. Ewing is one of the all-time TV.
Who
greats.
shot J.R.?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so people are just getting killed left and right on this show.
Well, he didn't die.
Oh, I'm sorry. Spoiler.
Yeah. But spoiler.
I remember Dallas. I remember the Who Shot JR. I didn't watch it. I just remember everybody talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
But you've met Patrick Duffy, haven't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't think of him right now.
I think he auditioned to play your dad on your sitcom.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Step by step.
Step by step.
Yeah. Yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he would. Yeah.
Duffy the Vampire Slayer.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Keep swinging.
Yeah.
How's your batting average so far, Steve?
I'm having fun.
Yeah.
That's what his batting average is.
I'm having fun.
When he gives us the bat, they go, he's having
he's happy to be here.
Mariah Burns. Has anyone else heard the stories about people dreaming whole lives and then waking up? I just listened to one where the girl dreamed she was pregnant, then had her son, then watched him grow for 40 years before she woke up. She lived 40 years in one night. She said it felt so real. She grieved for her son for years.
Whoa.
Yeah, I looked this up. She posted this on TikTok, and it's pretty crazy, assuming you believe her.
Yeah, was it what happened?
She said, I mean, basically that, but she said she realized she was dreaming. And then she thought, okay, this dream's going on the first day. This dream is going on a really long time. And then she thought, I'll wake up. And then it's got nighttime now. It's time to go to bed. And she's like, I haven't woken up yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll wake up while I go to sleep. Wakes up the next morning, still in this dream. Keeps going. After a while, she says she's missing her real family. I mean, she's not married. She's like a college student, but missing her real life. Eventually, after time, she's like, I guess this is my new life now. And just starts living in this dream for 40 years. And then on her son's surprise 40th birthday, she wakes up.
Whoa.
I have no way to prove it, but that's what she says.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I wonder what a scientist would say if that's even possible.
I watched one video and the guy said time distortion in dreams is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's why,
40 years.
I know.
Man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's sad.
What do you mean it's crazy? It's just like you don't.
Well, like,
no
you might dream that something's going on for a couple hours, and in real life it was only 30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. But you guys could still just be a dream. I mean, you're under 40. I mean, Who knows?
Man, I hope not.
We'll see.
Good luck. Good luck with that.
If you found out right now that you're really a 10-year-old who's been dreaming everything after that in your life, would you want to wake up, or would you just go, let me just finish this dream?
Do over, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry, Ruth.
Yeah, sorry, Ruth. Yeah, sorry, Eleanor.
Yeah.
I'm going back.
are you kidding me? A second chance? No, of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know if he could. You don't know if he can string everything that's gone for him again. Yeah. He was a tightrope act just to get him where he's at now. He's like, I don't know if I can do that again.
What was George Costanza say when he was pretending like to be just moving there? He's like, if you take my whole life and put it into one day, it's not bad.
It's not bad. Samantha Brungrabber. Brungrabber. Brungrabber?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Broom grabber.
Broom grabber. She's a broom grabber. Samantha, hi. I saw Nate and Aaron in Green Bay, and the show was incredible. I bought some friends who were not familiar with either of them, and they were so glad they came. Upon Aaron's reveal, my sister-in-law leaned over to me and said, he looks like Stephen Avery. To my horror, I realized she might have a point. Do you agree that you bear a striking resemblance to Wisconsin's most notorious murderer and subject of the popular Netflix documentary Making a Murder? No.
I mean, maybe.
The beard. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I would kind of know him with this gray hair. Like, I don't think so. I mean, would I maybe...
Look at him young right there, though, dude. Look at him young.
Young Brad Pitt.
That was the first time he killed somebody.
Yeah, he looks
But
good.
he was acquitted of it.
Mm-hmm.
Or not.
Yeah, like that one you do.
Yeah, I look like wrongly accused Stephen Avery.
Yeah.
I don't look like the actual murder he did.
Like
Yeah.
Atlanta Braves, Steve Avery.
Yeah. Yeah. But I definitely would use it as, I'd call you that. It's a fun. Yeah. If I was with someone and saw you, I'd be like, look at that Stephen Avery out there walking.
Have you ever been called that before?
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about him getting fresh out of prison right there? Now, that's the beard I'm going for sure.
Are you going to try to do that?
No. I got too many people in my life that wouldn't let me. My life. Anyway. It's fun. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the show.
Yeah. Aaron Mao. Each of the comedians attract a certain type of persona, a person who likes their comedy and connects with it. I'm curious to hear how a Boston crowd differs from Dayton, Ohio. Two different geographies, cultures. Do you find the best jokes land everywhere? Some land regardless of the location, type of audience. Yeah, I mean, overall, it's roughly the same. You know, that's the interesting part about, that's when, you know, when I've talked about making TV shows or movies and all this stuff for, you know, the people that are, you know, Hollywood can be kind of out of touch with what's going on. Because that's what's the most interesting thing to me is when we're going around to so many different places. Even if you go to Europe, if you go to Australia, like wherever you're at, everybody's a fan. You know, everybody's got a mom, dad. Like in the grand scheme of things, everybody's got the same exact thing: wives, problems. So you can say them anywhere. And then, you know, the only difference would be like some of the way we talk and they talk. Just little things would be different. Mm-hmm. But that's what's, you know. It's you know, I mean, I don't know.
People are never as unique as they think they are.
Yeah.
And it's seriously true. As you think, like, man, my life is so one of one.
Yeah.
And
no one's really original.
Same stuff. Yeah. We're all seeing the same stuff. We're all watching the same stuff. It's
same
just
problems.
Like, we're all out here, you know.
That's where, you know, what are the odds of me, like, if, you know, I get an iced coffee with milk, I just say that, and then it's like everybody's like, "Oh yeah!" I get still to this day, I get tagged in that. Or
Right.
seeing a horse lay down.
Right.
Or like, it's like, because like everybody sees, we're all seeing the same stuff. There's not that much stuff that's different.
Right.
That's the thing with crowd work. When we talk crowd work, there's only so many people that's going to be in the crowd, types of people.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, those are the ones you can make the most jokes about because you get to reuse those jokes in a way.
Right.
Versus with someone out of nowhere is just like, I run a circus. And then you're like, that's like, all right, well, I got to figure this out because it's, like a kind of a weird kind of thing now. But I mean, overall, everybody's the same. They can, I think it can be.
Did stand up in a prison once. That was its own thing. That was its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They all had a lot in common with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think sometimes if I'm in the South, I feel like I can always see sometimes, I guess maybe some difference could be they're laughing. It could be laughing at me versus with me, maybe. Because if I'm talking about the South or they're picturing it more, they might relate to that, some crazy story. My cousin's wedding Tuesday. But even that, everybody has cousins and they have crazy weddings and they have whatever. But yeah, maybe they they could laugh more. And not in a mean way at me, but laughing like, oh, that's funny that he had to go through that.
Right.
Versus like if I did it in Tennessee, when I talk about Tennessee, I mean, people are like, yeah, this is where I live too.
Mm-hmm.
J. Walter Taylor. I love the movie Breakdown. Mostly because Kurt Russell's character's name is my name, Jeff Taylor. I was 14 when it came out and it blew my mind. Does anyone else share a name of the movie character?
Yes.
Oh,
Captain America.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's his Captain America's real name is Stephen Rogers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how did you feel about that when those? I know the comic's been around forever, but the movies really.
I remember in like middle school and like elementary school, like it didn't. Whoa, okay, I come up faster than oh, thank goodness.
You're moving up there, dude.
Oh,
you're not in the top row, but you're all the second row.
Well, there's a whole. They saved us some time. They blocked off Captain America.
Is that John Cena?
That's its own thing.
Yeah, I'm fine with not coming up when you search Captain America, but I'm glad my name. There.
Yeah, it's heavy Stephen Rogers.
Yeah, when the movies came out, I had like a couple. I've been a comic book person, but like I had people being like having me look at they asked to see my ID. They couldn't believe I had the same name as Captain America and stuff. It was a big deal and then after every show for a long time was why isn't there any Captain America jokes? So I just ended up opening with one just to stop it from happening.
Sure.
But yeah, it was it doesn't happen so much anymore, but it was happening for the whole run of those movies.
Have you thought about changing your name?
No, I'll never do that.
You wouldn't do that to Alice?
Yeah.
You wouldn't betray.
I mean, Stephen Cooper would be a better name.
Yeah, that would make me less weird around him.
Yeah. You show up to meet him for the 17th time. My name is now Stephen Cooper.
I still got the same shirt, but
someone pointed out that if you go to the bands in town for the Opry and see some upcoming artists, you'll see Aaron on there. Aaron's there tonight, right? And
not tonight, tomorrow. Just Thursday.
Oh, just Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
But then if you scroll down to artists, upcoming concerts from similar artists, there's Brian Bates. And
who is that?
I think that's a singer named Brian Bates.
Oh, is he going to?
No, I'm there June 30th.
You just don't have a Bands in Town account set up?
I do have a Bands in Town.
But it's just pulling the picture of probably a 14-year-old kid with an electric guitar taken from a webcam.
I mean, I think that's the guy. I'm guessing when my Sound Exchange, I have a whole story about Sound Exchange where I owed them money because I was getting money from a musician named Brian Bates.
Oh.
I'm going to guess that's him.
That guy looks young, though.
Yeah.
It's an old picture. It's black and white.
It just pulls the wrong picture sometimes. That's fine.
Can you imagine when that guy probably gets your picture on his stuff? And he's like, why are tickets not moving? They're like, I don't know, because you're in a rock venue and look at the poster. and goes, "It looks like a guy that came here to shut down this rock venue."
Looks like our band's accountant.
Yeah.
I'm the pastor from Footloose.
Yeah.
But how about Ben Rector? They think if you like Aaron, you're going to
Hey,
like
dude,
Ben
my
Rector.
close personal friend, Ben Rector.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful person. He's very funny.
Speaking of, let me tell you guys a little bit about Game Time.
Nah.
Creed. There's a Creed concert coming up.
Sure is. I'm
Summer.
going to be there. I'm going to be there.
Well, do you have tickets yet?
Well, I'm going to use Game Time to
That's
get them.
right. Use Game Time. Nate, if you want to go, use Game Time.
Yeah.
Makes getting tickets for concerts and events faster and easier. Alice Cooper. You go see Alice Cooper. Even if you don't buy tickets right away, you can use Game Time, and prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. It offers killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, view from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. You can take the guesswork out of buying concert tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code NATE for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code NATE for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. So, use Game Time.
Trying to think of a story like I had. I remember doing a news story once. It just something reminded me of it. I remember doing a news thing. It was like promoting a show. This is like very early on, and it was in, I want to say Syracuse, actually.
Oh, wow.
Because Dan Frigolette,
Yes.
you know, or Dan.
I know Dan.
So Dan was in he's from Syracuse. So like, and we were doing like their local TV
Yeah.
to promote.
Probably Bridge Street was the name.
It was probably that. We might have been doing like, I think I was doing something. It was like the Italians of comedy, something. But it was funny as they promoted it like that, and I was on it. And I was like, hey, there's not going to, I was like, I had like, at that time, I had the one Italian joke,
Right.
but like a spaghetti or something, you know, whatever. And then, so I was like, you're going to make people come and think this is like, they're going to, you know, this is like, they're expecting a real Italian
they're
show.
expecting
Like,
you to be in a tank top.
yeah. And so, but anyway, so we go on this local TV show, and it's it was a guy and his wife was filling in for actually the girl that usually is there.
Mm-hmm.
So his wife's just there, and it was just such a funny thing. So they had before me, they had someone come on, and I just can't remember what she was selling. You know, clips or say purses. It doesn't matter what she was selling. I don't remember what it was, but she's selling purses. And then, so then in the TV moment, she goes, huh? Like, maybe, would you want one of these purses? Where the person says, I would love one of those purses. Because you would just say that you're on TV. Why would you not?
Of course.
You know? And I remember she goes, no, I'm good. We have enough purses. And you're like, all right. And then that lady goes, well, that's fine. You know, just had to move on. But I'll never. And it was like his wife was filling in. I wanted to know the whole dynamic of it, to be, why was she there anyway? And why was she on? She's clearly not on TV.
Yeah.
But then she just shot it down. This woman's trying to sell purses on the TV show. So just say it. Like, what do you? She goes, no, I don't want to buy anything. Like, you're like, well, lady, we're not gonna. You know, they're not gonna ask for money when you get off the
just
air.
say, I'd love one and move on.
Yeah. Just go with it so she can sell purses.
Yes,
And she was like, no, I don't.
Nah,
we're good.
I just got a way better purse last week.
We don't. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That purse? I don't know. I don't want that purse.
Tim Wright. Good day, folks. Good day. What was that saying with Australia? That if you say it one way, it sounds like you.
Shrimp on the barbie.
No, I thought some of the way someone said something.
What was it?
Good day.
The Australian show.
They said a way to say it.
Good day,
remember.
folks. And hey, koala. I live in Brisbane, Australia. Got to see Nate last year and just got home from seeing Jerry Seinfeld. As has happened before, he was asked who his favorite comedian was, and he said Nate Bargatze. So, Nate, I hope you come again soon and get a bigger room.
Wow.
That's
cool.
very cool.
Pretty cool.
Funny enough, I was texting with him that.
Could you say my name?
Yeah. I texted. I mean, that is very funny to even see that, because I literally just texted texted him, and we were texting because I was like, I just got home or something from the road, and then he was like, oh, he goes, I just landed, and he's in Auckland now, and he said he did an arena.
Wow.
Yeah, like no, I mean Melbourne. I know when I talked to him, he was like done Melbourne and Sydney. And I guess Brisbane. I don't. Well, maybe Brisbane. I don't know when he did Brisbane, but like those two were like arena. It's like 36,000 something tickets, dude.
It's crazy.
Like I mean Seinfeld's 70.
Yeah.
So
That's like insane, dude. To go over there and sell that many tickets. He had it was insane. I mean,
you're texting them this morning.
Yeah. That's absurd.
Brian and I texted this morning.
Yeah, he didn't text me back.
Brian's my Seinfeld.
He is your Seinfeld. But that's man, that's so cool to hear. Like, I mean, dude, Seinfeld just legit sneaky, just crushing.
Yeah.
I mean, to be like that many tickets is an arena.
Legend.
Yeah. It's awesome.
I thought it'd be a good segue into our topic today, which is idols and heroes. I mean, I know certainly for you and I, Seinfeld's been an idol for a long time, and it must feel crazy to now be friends with him. And he's telling everybody that you're his favorite comic. Yeah,
it's insane.
And I also thought of it because I know you guys saw Brian Regan. I know you opened for him a lot, but you guys went to see him in Nashville. I know he's another one that you've always loved and your dad loved, and you guys got to see him. And what was that like? Yeah, we went up. I got to bring him up. I posted a clip of me bringing him up, and everything I said in it is what it would mean. I mean, he was definitely someone. Seinfeld's the guy that was like I was obsessed with, but then Regan was the first I heard that I just couldn't. It like opened my mind to like, oh, like it's not just Seinfeld. There's other people, and seeing Regan go through clubs. I saw him in 3 comedy clubs during his like come up. Not his come up. He was already selling out the weekend.
Was it when he was doing the 2 different hours?
No, I think it was before.
That's crazy.
I think it was even before that. I saw him in like 2003. Maybe 3, 4, and then like probably like 5, and then like 7 or something like that. But I saw him in Chicago at a comedy club. Just bought a ticket, went in there and sent him. I mean,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was nuts, and just to be in there and watching it. So yeah, Regan, the fact that I know him and he knows me, and it never gets, it's just insane.
Yeah. He's so great, and he's so kind.
Yeah, he's a great person.
He's obviously for me someone that and like meeting him, he's kinder than you would imagine watching his stuff. And he's so generous. He goes and watches comedy. He loves comedy. He's just the best.
Yeah. What's the say? Don't meet your heroes is the saying, right?
Yeah.
And it's just not true in a lot of
we
cases.
hung out with him.
Yeah, we did in Atlanta. It was crazy.
Crazy.
Steven was opening for him.
Yeah.
And actually, that was a crazy week. It was a crazy weekend in Atlanta comedy. Nate was at the Fox Theater. Regan was at the Buckhead Theater.
That's right.
And I was opening for Kathleen Madigan at the Cobb Energy Center.
That's right. So I had lunch with Graham, who was opening for Nate.
That's right. Yeah. So it was just this vortex of comedy.
Yeah.
In the city. But anyway, you just look up and I'm with Brian Regan hanging out. It was just a crazy weekend.
Fun.
I had Brian Regan Live memorized word for word. I used to perform it at like family. My dad would make me do it.
Oh, man.
And I had it word for word. I didn't tell him that, thank God, when I met him. But
know this story, but that weekend at Buckhead, at a certain point, I finally revealed to Regan how much I'm obsessed with this stuff and how much I love him. So he'll tape a special, he'll watch all of them to make sure there's no accidental repeating of anything. And at one point I had to call him out because he was about to tape a special, and I was like, that bit's on this thing, and he goes, I disagree, and I go, oh, I'm sorry, and then I'm opening for him on the taping, and he comes up to me and he goes, I owe you an apology. It's on the thing that you told me.
You knew his material better.
I did,
him.
yeah. So he knows that about me. So when we were doing Atlanta, he goes, I have a favor to ask you. A friend of mine is in the audience and requested the Say 8-bit, and I don't remember it. Can you help me remember? So we did the bit together to each other in the green room.
It's just crazy.
And I was like, what is life?
I know.
This is so unreal.
That's insane.
And then he goes, can you just be off stage right by the curtain when I do the bit in case I need you? I was like, sure. And I pulled up the transcript because I'm like, I'm not going to let my arrogance of being a Regan fan take over.
Sure.
So I have the transcript ready, and without fail, just goes up and kills it. Doesn't need me at all. He's the best.
Snapback. That's so cool, man.
I love him.
Did you want him to need you, or are you kind of
Steven, come out here and do the bit with me real quick?
No. The moment, the private moment's enough.
Yeah.
It's like,
sure.
I don't like, he's the best. He doesn't need anybody, but like to do that together, I'll never forget that. It was so cool. Yeah.
When you said never meet your heroes, Willie Mays just passed away.
I know, you killed off another one.
Yep.
Every time Brian talks about somebody on this podcast, they die within a week.
Yeah.
Well, most of my guys are in their 90s, so sorry, Bob Newhart.
Yeah. I mean,
Bob,
that's a legit worry.
Yeah.
I want to meet Bob Newhart.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he one of the few that you probably haven't met?
Yeah. Dick Van Dyke.
I would love to meet him. I would love to meet him.
Yeah.
Steve, have you met Steve Martin?
No, Martin.
Stop naming people.
All right. Well, anyway,
they're gonna die.
Tony Kornheiser.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah. He said
Nate loves Tony Kornheiser.
We've both met Tony Kornheiser.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful person, but Willie Mays was his favorite player, and they said, never meet your heroes. And in my case, it was true. And he didn't seem put out by it, but he didn't even go on to what exactly happened. But I'm sure he was probably a young journalist. It's not like a fan, whatever. And he was probably annoying him or whatever. And I think Willie Mays just blew him off. He didn't seem to take it personal. He probably agreed with him to a certain extent. It didn't change his fandom of him, but he just said, in his case, it wasn't the best first meeting or ever. Anyway.
And that's the only time they met?
He didn't say that, but I kind of took it as that.
That can happen. You catch people on a bad day or something. You never know. You never know what it is.
Do you kind of remember when you went from a fan of athletes as a kid to then you kind of start catching up with them in age? And then you pass them, and how you're just, the way you think of them just changes.
Completely. Yeah. Now they're all younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Not professional athletes, but
even professional.
A lot of them are.
Most of them are younger than me.
Yeah, I haven't had one.
Baseball, there's a few that's. I'm trying to think who would even.
For me, it's coaches now. It's about 50-50 on coaches.
Yeah. You got like 10 years on JJ Redick, the new Lakers coach,
man.
right?
Oh man, I mean, Sean McVay was like your age when he got the head coaching job.
Yeah,
right.
That was crazy. Even when he's so young.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember, because you're a kid, even like college football players, like, man, those are grown men.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 32 and I watch college football. And like, dude, I'm 10 years older than the oldest people playing.
I was fine with them being bigger than me because they were older.
Yeah.
But now they're younger and giants.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, some of these kids, dude, are huge.
Yeah.
Freaks, there's a kid, the basketball kid that's 8, I think almost
7'9".
Yeah.
Yeah, for Florida.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're, I mean, it's just insane.
This is one of my favorite pictures of this.
Whoa.
This is from Foley, Alabama. This is DJ Fluker, who played offensive line at Alabama for a while, but it's just like Yeah, at this age, he just looks like a different thing than the rest of the guys. I mean, 71's a big dude.
My hairline's at his belt.
But dude, like DJ Fluker was just,
my goodness,
just insanely big.
That's him in high school.
That's a high school picture.
So he's 17 or 18.
Yeah,
that's pretty difficult. I think you could see that. That's probably tough on those kids because, like, it's hard to not talk to them like an adult so early. Because you're looking at them and you think, and you want to go like, hey, that's a 16-year-old. That's a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
You like, they're not, it's like, it's a kid.
Yeah. I know they're bigger than you.
I know
that's a child.
It's hard, but it's a child. And like, this kid that's 8 feet was like, when he was, I think when he was 8, he was 6 feet tall. And then it's like when he's 11, he was like almost 7 feet tall.
Crazy.
Well, Harper's 11.
Whoa.
So so it would be like having to talk to him is like the way I talk with Harper and the way I can like I could still Harper still I can carry her, and she like all these things. She's still my little girl, like But then if you're like, well, your kid's 8 feet, he's 7 foot tall at 11.
Man,
this doesn't even look like a real picture there.
That guy can't drive.
Yeah,
you can't. I
don't know what car. I mean, it's like Shaq, where you have to take out like the back seat.
He's barely old enough to drive too. Is what he's saying. Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. Again, PTI. They were just talking about Shaq, and they said he's one of the few of those super tall athletes that's comfortable with his body. So many of these guys, understandably, you just think of them as just these behemoth giants that they're only out there because they're so tall, and they've lived an uncomfortable life their entire life. Shaq embraces it. He was obviously a great player, but just can have fun with it, and but Shaq is short compared to some of these guys we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, Wemby's 7'4".
He's got 5 inches on him.
On Wemby.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
He's got a tall family, but he's still...
Yeah, and he's kind of he's a big guy, too. It's not like
it's
super
not a
lanky.
Stick, yeah.
Not a big high recruit, I don't feel like. Like, it's like a, in my head, you just think those guys are going to be like, he's 6 stars.
Yeah.
Just because you're like, I don't know. What else are you going to,
Well, he's white. What?
Can't cut, but
this.
I literally did zone out for a second.
Yeah. Don't even worry about it. But I mean, that doesn't. Yeah, that's insane.
That's. There. I mean, you can't. What are you even wearing? I mean, that's tough. But yeah, I bet
that guy out of that bag.
Yeah. Yeah, like that. I mean, is that his dad's got a.
Is that his dad?
No.
I hope his dad. I assume they're both very tall. But.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of tall.
Yeah, we just looked at a picture of his family together. But
Luke Cornett.
All right, Brian.
I think I was thinking about the white reference.
Okay,
I was still trying to think about what that. Luke Cornett just won an NBA championship.
Yeah,
played at Vandy. He's 6'11", I think. And I remember when his dad played at Vandy, who's obviously very tall. But his mom, who's a news anchor here in Nashville, just average height,
normal height. Yeah.
So I don't really have a point to that. But
she's about 6 feet tall.
I mean, she might be.
Yeah.
Taller than the average woman.
Yeah.
You think they could sleep on a Helix mattress?
I think they could.
Anybody
can. Helix is the best. All sizes. I think they have to get a bigger bed. Or get 2 beds.
Well, Helix has an
XL option. I love my Helix mattress. Comics sleep on the Helix mattress. It was great. Is you get to take a Helix sleep quiz and get matched with your perfect mattress for you, which that's what this kid would have to do. He would have to go to Helix, and Helix would be able to take on the challenge.
I think so.
Of this big of a kid, doing this. It's the best mattress. I've slept on it. I mean, I love it. The setup is fast and easy. Helix mattress are delivered in a box and straight to your door for free. The Helix Elite collection includes 6 different mattress models, each tailored for specific sleep positions and firmness preferences. Helix is so confident with how great their mattresses are that they include a 100-night trial and a 15-year manufacturer's warranty, completely risk-free. Helix Sleep has over 12,500 5-star reviews. They support, military, first responders, teachers, students, all this stuff by giving them a special discount on the site. So if you're one of those, you get a discount on top of the discount. Helix is offering up to 30% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/Nate. That is helixsleep.com/Nate. This is their best offer yet, and it will not last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Do you remember anybody as a kid, probably an athlete, that you were like fan of?
Corey Chavis.
Who's
Vandy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, cornerback for Vandy. He was my favorite. He was my favorite Vandy. He's my first favorite Vandy player. Was Corey Chavis. I had a ball. I think I still have it. I don't know where it's at now, but I had a ball that was used in the Tennessee Vandy game because my mom worked for Vandy. And so they got the ball and signed by Corey Chavis.
Wow.
The signature's coming off. It actually is, I think it's that ball that's right over there. It's flat. It's like, I actually need to get Corey Chavis to sign it again, actually.
Yeah, played in the NFL for 10 years.
Yeah.
Had a
Went
good
to Minnesota.
career.
He was awesome.
He was an analyst. The funny thing is, he's 3 years older than you.
Yeah. I met him at a game once. But when he was playing for Vandy and, told him how much I liked him. Yeah, safety cornerback. Made Pro Bowl.
Oh, yeah. First team All
Yeah.
SEC.
Yeah, he was awesome, man. I don't know. He was a defensive back. He was great cornerback. Like he was just, I just always liked him. He was my first.
Why do you think it's athletes that we idolize? A lot of us. Was it like that for you, Steven? You're not a huge sports guy. Did you care about athletes growing up?
I've always found it impressive, but they were not the center of my focus.
Who was it? Musician? I mean,
Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper. Was it musicians?
It was comedians.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was it when you were a kid?
I went through a lot of people, but Ellen and Ray Romano and then eventually Regan were a big ones growing up.
Do you have like an Ellen poster in your room?
No, I don't think I had any comedy posters. But
I don't think does anybody have comedy posters?
Yeah.
I guess they sell.
That's a fun question.
I had sports posters all over my room. So
yeah,
I was just
well,
curious
you're
if
in comedy.
Yeah.
You think comedy's. That's like a journalist question of someone that's not in comedy.
How do you come up with ideas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Posters. Yeah, the Ellen comedy posters.
Yeah, maybe you cut out the cover of Time magazine and frame that on your wall. I don't know.
No. Yeah, I don't think I had much on my wall.
You didn't have a Dane Cook fathead or something? You didn't I mean, come on, man.
And that would just...
What'd you have? Just bare walls in your room?
I think I had bare walls.
Oh,
Captain America?
He was
comic book stuff.
Yeah.
He was a swimmer. Probably a lot of swimming.
So Michael Phelps.
Yeah, he's the real deal. Swam college.
I didn't swim in college, but I could have. College wanted me, but I didn't want college.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's better than that.
You think you could beat Dusty in a swimming competition?
Yes.
So who are the swimming? I mean, Mark Spitz.
Greg Louganis.
He was a diver, right?
It's all pool stuff. I don't think you.
Well, you're probably young enough for Phelps.
Phelps.
Yeah.
Phelps was going down while I was in high school. Yeah, so Phelps was a big deal. Yeah.
I mean, I think you're just
water.
Like it. Yeah,
The wet.
They're in the water.
all
I love fish.
Yeah, they're all the same thing. Yeah.
The wet mammals.
Yeah.
I met Michael Phelps.
You did?
Yeah, I've golfed. Yeah,
What?
I did a golfing thing. The Justin Timberlake golfing thing I did a while ago.
I got to get good at golf. You're meeting all these great people.
Yeah, I think I could go play with him.
Yeah.
I don't.
Is he a good golfer? He's just a great athlete.
I think he's a great athlete, but big golfer though. Like that crew in Arizona, like all of them that go play, like it's. And so I played with him, met him then, and he did the stretch and the where he his hands go all the way back. And stuff.
Double jointed.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
I've never told you guys this, and I haven't told hardly anybody this because I've always been embarrassed about it. But I've never known how to swim, and
no, come on.
I never took lessons.
I could teach you.
And
Come on,
but my daughter Eleanor has been taking lessons since she's 1 for over a year now. She's been taking swimming lessons. And I'm like, I don't want to be embarrassed. And like, she has to rescue me from the deep end of the pool.
Right.
So 2 weeks ago, I started taking swimming lessons.
Oh,
for the
man.
first time.
Oh, that's awesome.
How's it going?
Good. I've taken 2 lessons.
Yeah.
And the first one, I was so exhausted so quickly, just my cardio.
Yeah.
Swimming will do that.
And she was like, are you okay? Like she said, did you injure the right side of your body? Because you're not moving your right side. I'm like, no, I'm just out of shape. She said I was the first adult she'd ever had in all her years of teaching.
Yeah.
She was kind of like perplexed. Like, I don't even know how to.
This is the same one that taught your daughter?
No, it's a different one. And I almost asked for a public lesson just for the joke. Just whatever.
Sure.
But I was too embarrassed. So I did a private lesson. But
I think that joke's still laying.
Yeah, it's still be
Just
funny.
the fact you're taking a swimming lesson.
It's
your
still a
age
joke.
is
I
still-
love it.
that's one reason why I didn't even tell it at first, because I wanted to get the beats of the joke down.
Yeah.
But what does happen is the class right after me shows up. So all the kids and their teachers just sit around the pool and watch me
That's rough.
trying to swim
That's rough.
while I'm out there. So
Yeah. That's a very vulnerable thing.
But he could go teach you right now.
I could.
Would you
What
take
if you
Would you
learn-
take lessons from him?
well, sure.
Yeah.
What would you?
You should do it, and then you go back to her and you go, "I got it." Yeah.
He starts doing the Michael Phelps.
How old is the teacher?
Like 30.
Yeah.
What has she taught you so far?
The first one was just kicking.
Off the
and
wall? Like, are you holding
No,
onto the wall and
Treading
kicking?
water.
She's like, I've got like a little
You
thing,
got
and
a
then she
kickboard?
put a little floating around me.
Uh-huh.
And then it was just kicking. And then the week 2, I thought, now we're going to do some arms. She's like, no, let's just keep working on kicking. She
Yeah.
put fins on me
Yep.
just to work on my form. I was blown away at how much easier it is with fins.
Fins is unbelievable, but obviously,
You can't use
you
them.
can't use them. But it's once your arms are involved, kicking's important to learn, because when I swam, I would notice I would barely kick because my arms were like I was just way better with strokes. So kicking is important to learn first because it is necessary. But once your arms are involved,
She was like, wear these
doing
fins so you can just focus on your form and not on trying to stay alive.
Yeah.
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 Kind of thing. So
Well, once arms are involved, you're gonna have to learn how to breathe, which is a whole other thing.
well, she keeps telling me, remember to breathe.
Yeah.
Because I'm so tense in the water.
Yeah.
So I'm not comfortable.
Man,
So anyway,
that's
awesome.
that's great.
thanks.
Yeah. Congrats. I don't think I'm trying to think if I've ever seen you in a pool or.
Probably just the shallow end
Was
of
he in
a
the
pool,
sh-
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, really, there's not that many times where it even becomes a thing.
Mhm.
At my age, most of our friends aren't,
People don't
trying
have
to.
deep ends in their
No,
pools.
not as
either.
much.
Not as much.
Ours is, yeah. We have a pool. But it's like 6 foot.
Yeah, you'll tread water a little bit, but it's
I
not
mean,
like
but that,
10 feet.
but-
you know?
Around. I didn't play
Yeah.
basketball with you guys
yeah.
that time.
Yeah, he would be in trouble.
I would have
But I mean, growing up, nobody around me had a pool,
Yeah,
and my parents didn't know how to swim. Nobody in my family knew how to swim, and
yeah,
it just wasn't a thing.
yeah. The
And then
pools
I
are
just
still
got-
segregated.
I got old.
Yeah.
So-
I got embarrassed about it, and then I just, just never. I'm like, I'm too old to learn. But
well,
now,
dude, I
got a
admire
daughter.
you for that, man.
Yeah, I do too.
That's pretty cool.
yeah. So
You're just going, yeah, dude. You're going to be a better swimmer than all of us.
I'm going to have my swim teacher's poster on the wall.
yeah.
She's my hero.
What would have happened if you fell in water? You think you could have got out? Or
Only thing I remember, it's been years since I've even tried, but I remember going, my cousin, who I'd go visit occasionally, they had a swimming pool. And I
Mhm.
remember one time we were playing a game in the water, like a basketball or something. And just because I wasn't thinking about it, I kind of started swimming. Just,
Oh yeah.
I was exerting so much energy, though. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I could kind of swim.
Yeah, you're flailing probably.
Flailing,
yeah.
But that's where all the energy's going. But yeah, that's I feel like it is an instinct that everyone can do, but to learn it is
The proper way.
obviously- Yeah.
Don't they teach, like, how do they teach a 1-year-old? Don't they just throw them in the pool?
There's videos of that.
Mm.
I've seen that
Yeah.
before, too. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But-
we didn't do it. There was my buddy did it with his kids, and we didn't do it because it was like I couldn't have done it.
No.
I was like I was like I couldn't be.
Mm-mm.
Which I think sometimes they would tell you leave. They make you leave, and then you just
just to watch your kid just be tossed in the pool.
Yeah,
like
they
that?
just throw them in the pool because the kids learning to get on their back so they can
Uh-huh.
breathe and then just start kicking.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
It'd be tough to do.
it's tough.
They throw it off the diving board. You're like, whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a little high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eleanor, she can float on her back, and they work on things like getting out of the pool, like your elbows and pulling yourself out and stuff like that.
Playing sardines. And stuff
Why didn't
like
you just kind of tag with her lessons?
Just kind of listen in.
Yeah, yeah,
that?
She's got a wire.
yeah.
Free lesson.
Yeah, free lesson.
I got a headphones on in the corner.
You're in a van.
What did she say when you asked her to give lessons? Like the girl was like,
Well, when I called to schedule it, the guy was like, "Oh yeah," I told him it's for me. I'm 52, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Bella, she's great for that." And then I got there, and nobody told her that it was an adult.
Mhm.
She was looking for my kid,
yeah,
Mhm.
and then I'm like, "No, it's me," and she was so perplexed.
yeah.
She was in the water because she just got done with a lesson with a 4-year-old.
Right.
And then next, and then I go over there, and she was like, "All right."
Man.
She's like, this is an episode of What Would You Do?
I'm getting punked.
Bates has got, you have a shirt on.
No, I took my shirt off.
You wearing those old tank top? What's those old
Yeah,
bathing
with
suits?
The black and white stripes
Yeah.
on it.
I think like a one piece.
Yeah.
Do you have
And
a
then I'm like,
cap?
"Ooh, it's cold."
Yeah, swimming cap. Yes.
Floaties.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Man, to see.
I'm trying to think of I need to go back and learn some stuff I never learned.
I'm trying to do
Why not?
that. I'm thinking about doing golf lessons. I take boxing lessons. Like,
Okay, yeah.
trying to do stuff that makes me uncomfortable, because learning new stuff is the most vulnerable thing. I feel
Yeah.
like it's a lot.
And the older you get, the harder it is.
Yes.
to step
Yeah.
outside your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I imagine getting swimming lessons, not only the discomfort of being in the pool trying to swim, but calling somebody and getting that was probably a lot to do.
It's like calling your first open mic and signing up. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I got to do this now.
Crazy.
Think we're more shocked with the baby or the non-swimming lesson that he brought up?
Like you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are two pretty big
I'll-
reveals
two
on the
pretty
podcast.
big-
No. I
Yeah.
would say definitely the baby.
I would think the baby.
I didn't even know you were married when you had the baby, so it was
Yeah.
like it was a lot being thrown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's why we got married.
Yeah.
I figure you probably guys assumed I didn't know how to swim.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
No, I would never. I mean, no.
No, I never thought about it.
I mean, after week 1, I really thought, what if some people just can't swim? Like, what if I'm too old to learn?
Right.
I don't. But I think I've just swam my whole life, so it's hard.
To even
It's hard to imagine not being able to.
Uh-huh.
But so like even that's something that's too. When you see people that can't swim, I always think, well, they could swim. Like if you fell into water,
Your body would figure it out.
yeah, your
Mhm.
body's you're gonna just be, even when you're doing that panic, it's like you're gonna be able to keep your head above water. But I guess you get so tired so quick.
You really gotta. Yeah, you gotta learn how to do it to sustain it.
Yeah, and to get to the side or to get to the whatever.
Yeah, this is gonna sound like a bit, but they taught us what to do if you fall out of a boat or if you while you're full like clothed.
Mhm.
Is you take your pants off or your shirt off. You need long sleeves,
Yeah.
and you tie them off, and then you bring it up over to catch air in it, and then you pull it under, and it will be a floaty for at least a little while.
Mhm.
But people should know how to do at least that stuff.
Mhm.
But it's easy to say not panic, but that will burn so much of your energy.
But like when you do that, you take your pants off and the boat just turns around, and you're like, and they're like, "All right, dude, I was
Go
we're
12
in a
seconds.
regular boat."
Yeah.
It seems like you really wanted to.
Yeah.
yeah.
You could at least let us leave the horizon.
Yeah,
Dude, stand up.
Yeah.
We just we
yeah,
just got off the dock.
yeah, yeah.
We can still see you taking your pants off.
That's so quick.
Well, anyway, I'm going to embarrass my daughter enough. I didn't want to be the guy that.
I admire that you're doing it.
That's good.
Great.
That's
good.
huge.
I love it. Can you ride a bike?
That's next.
Did you ever know how to ride a bike?
I mean, barely. Again, barely.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it sounds almost counterintuitive that I lived out in the country, which you kind of, I think, associate with Dusty's like that. He rode a bike everywhere and was swimming in the creek. But where I live, it didn't.
Sure.
It wasn't that.
Yeah.
There was nobody around close to us. And so, I mean, just barely.
Yeah.
That's next.
Heck yeah, dude.
Same teacher.
You know, the good thing with the bike,
back.
the bike, you get one of those ones without the pedals. And like, I think those are the coolest thing ever. I bought one for Harper and she never even did it. She can ride a bike now, but we did it the old way. But it's
that's called a motorcycle.
No. It has no
balance ones.
Yeah, it's like the balance ones. So you could probably get you could get any bike, take the pedals off, but where your feet touch, and then you just kind of push and then lift your feet up and ride for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're only going with your feet. So your feet was what making you go.
Mm-hmm.
So your feet are just kind of dragging on the ground the whole time. And then that's a great way for kids to like learn because you can catch yourself and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what you should do. We get that. We could take some pedals off some bike.
Electric.
And then I would eventually learn how to ride it just normal.
We're basically putting them through a triathlon.
Yeah. No, I think the balance, it helped you do the balance. And then the other way, you're just pedaling.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the balance is the part that's the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to tie shoes after that. We're going to do it all.
We're going to do it all. Yeah, you blending in a sport, though, is running. I mean, I don't know if you could blend in a sport.
No, we can only do so much.
Yeah.
Aaron, you want to tell us about
Get
ButcherBox?
incredible deals on premium cuts from ButcherBox. Deals this good are hard to come by at the grocery store. I have peace of mind when I use ButcherBox. I can easily have high quality meat and seafood that I trust. It's 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, pork raised, crate-free, and wild-caught seafood. All the things you want. It is all humanly raised with no antibiotics or added hormones. Humanely raised or humanly raised? Not quite sure.
I would say.
My favorite part must be the value. It's simply unbeatable. They have exclusive member deals, recipe inspiration, guides, tips, and hacks. Start using ButcherBox today so you can enjoy the convenience with always prepared meat in the freezer. Plus, enjoy the value they offer with savings you cannot get at the grocery store. Sign up for ButcherBox today by going to butcherbox.com/Nate and use code Nate at checkout and enjoy your choice of bone-in chicken thighs, top sirloins, or salmon in every box for an entire year. Plus, get $20 off. Again, that's butcherbox.com/Nate and use code Nate.
Boom.
All right.
So, we were talking about posters on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I had 3 baseball players that I remember having. I had Dale Murphy, Pete Rose, and Dwight Gooden. 2 of those 3 got in a little trouble.
Pete Rose, Del Murphy,
and Dwight Gooden. Dwight Gooden just got in trouble for drugs and stuff. Pete Rose obviously got banned. Del Murphy.
I was a big Del Murphy fan.
Yeah, you almost seem like you'd be too young for him because you've talked about you did his batting stance.
I did his batting stance. Yeah, I love Del Murphy.
Man,
Del Murphy, Bob Horner. I was into baseball. I was into the Braves.
Yeah,
I love the Braves. And then it's like again, I said the strike. I was when the strike happened. I just like
killed it,
and then I just kind of quit playing baseball because it was good. Like baseball was getting serious, and I just don't think I was going to be as serious with it.
I went to a baseball game with my niece and nephews, and one of the players they saw made the sign of the cross before they went to bat, and my niece goes, "Man, they really care about baseball that much to pray before an at bat." And I was like, "Yeah, well, these are their jobs." She's like, "These are their jobs?" She like could not wrap her head around. It was so funny. I like stuff you don't even think about.
Yeah, they should.
She's like, I thought they're just playing with their friends.
How old
We're
is she?
just watching them. I mean,
16.
Yeah, 7 or 8.
So,
I think.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Adrian, who's works with us now, he said on his post on the wall, Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens.
Yeah, 3 juicers, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Adrian seems too old to have those guys on his wall, if you ask me. But anyway, Do you remember as a kid what you said you wanted to be growing up?
I always said I want to play basketball. But I mean, weirdly, I do think I wanted to be a comedian quicker than I even think I did. But I think, because I used to always think, I never even thought about being a comedian. But then I'll think back on it, and then you're like, you do all these things, and you're like, maybe I was. And I've publicly told in interviews, like, that's the crazy thing about when you get older. It's funny, you start just thinking about stuff, and you see all the. That's the one. It's the interesting part of getting older is you just all the stuff that you've said, you were like, no, I never thought about that. Then you just get older, you're like, yeah, I probably did think about that. Yeah. I just don't remember, thinking about it. But it was, and I mean, in high school, I wrote on my thing where I'll be in 10 years performing at Zanies. And I told a joke with my dad so it's like, and my dad was doing it. So, I mean, I think I don't know if in the sense of it, like I wasn't like, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian, like those exact words.
Right.
But it was being funny.
An entertainer.
I liked it. Yeah, I liked that.
Man.
But I mean, I liked, I would always joke about the NBA. I loved basketball.
Mm-hmm. I knew sports were out for me pretty quick because I played them. But I think like a lot of kids, I would want to be an astronaut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or Dusty would say an actor, but
yeah.
A zookeeper. I don't know if
I had zookeeper.
Yeah.
You were into zookeeper?
I loved animals. I think a lot of kids.
I think I had that too. I had work in a zoo.
Yeah. Wow.
You want to work with animals?
No, I never thought about that.
Well, you were
college professor.
I wanted to own the zoo. I'm just kidding. No.
You're smart. Like y'all come, y'all are.
Well, I liked animals too. I just didn't even know that was a job.
Oh yeah.
They did a poll recently of kids.
That's what you'd say.
Beneath you?
Yeah, beneath him. Him and his family would go to the zoo and go, who works here?
Yeah.
And then someone walks up and then goes,
oh, these are animals too.
Like your niece. It's just like your niece that goes, it's a real job. There you go. We go to Notre Dame.
These
Uncle
baboons.
Aaron, why are these poor people playing this sport? And these uneducated people, do they not know the future is at Notre Dame?
Well, they surveyed kids recently about what they want to be when they grow up. It's changed a little bit. Social media influencer.
Yeah.
Is
YouTuber.
There it is. This is teens, so professional athletes still first for boys, but YouTube streamer second. Professional gamer. It's all entertainment for the most part for girls. Girls and boys.
But
number one's
doctor, nurse.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's an actual job. I mean, look, if I professional gamer is on here for dude, if you'd have told me as a kid that my job could be to play video games, that would have been one on there.
Yeah,
too. that wasn't even an option when I was a kid.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't. We didn't even have borderline games.
I could play Oregon Trail for a living. Yeah.
But I mean, or like
me as professional gamer on Atari.
Yeah, professional Pong player.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Boop. Yeah, that's YouTube streamer, music, yeah, but everybody, I don't know.
How old were these kids?
I think you said teenagers. Of course, I know 13 is a lot different than 18. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I think early 20s you start to give up on all
I think
stuff.
the problem is like now versus back then was like you could do that, but it was like it didn't seem like attainable back when we were kids. So if you wanted to be something like this, it was almost like you wouldn't have even said this because you were like, well, that, it's like, well, I mean, you just are like, you don't get to be, I'm just trying to think of someone like Billy Idol. I don't know. I can't even think of it. But I'm
Billie Eilish?
No, Idol. Okay. Like the old Billy. Like I'm saying a long time ago. Yeah. Not that I would.
Yeah.
But you like, you don't get to be like, well, I want to be Guns N' Roses. Because you're like, they're just, you feel like I want to be Tom Cruise. You're like, you feel like he's built in a lab somewhere. So, you're like, they're just so famous that you're like, we don't even live on the same planet.
Sure.
Right.
So I can't be that. I feel like you can't. But now,
everybody feels accessible.
And everybody can kind of become famous. You can have anything go, and then it catches on, and then you kind of become famous. And even the smallest scale of it, you could be famous in your own community, and the fact that you're just, for some reason, you make the funny videos and just say you're in your town, everybody watches your videos. Well, you have a level of, everybody knows you in that town, so you have a level of fame.
Yeah.
And then so
you can have a niche now in a way that
you can have niche. You can make a lot of money in some niches. I mean, professional gaming, these guys are did some kid get drafted? I saw a clip of for 2K, like NBA 2K, like a kid got drafted.
Oh, wow.
And I don't understand if it was
to do.
I thought it was on Bleacher Report, but it was like he got like the NBA 2K draft. It's like
I don't know.
like as a player, I guess.
I have no idea. I can't find anything.
They have leagues.
Well, there was that race car driver.
Oh yeah, they made a movie about it.
Yeah. So there's a 2K league.
Yeah.
And they do a draft, I guess. With
so they picked this
professional
kid.
2K players.
Wow.
Yeah. That's pretty fun.
I worked,
but I mean that's the stuff, and they're covering it. But it's like, what is that? What does that mean, dude? I don't know what it means. This is where I could go. I don't know where the money could come from. I don't know where I know gaming is, I guess it comes from, gaming is a $1 billion industry. So I guess it's its own thing. But it's like, even when they're like, people are watching it, you're like, well, how many people can be watching this? I just can't imagine.
A lot more than you think.
I know how 100,000.
No, millions.
Didn't we talk about it was more popular than the Super Bowl?
1 year. Yeah, the League of Legends finale, or the League of Legends championship match, more than the Super Bowl.
It feels like now people are getting, it's like creators are going away. They're not a creator.
I worked in TV.
You're not making something. You're just playing the game that's being laid out the best.
You're making memories with your friends.
Yeah. But I'm saying, if someone's
That's
young,
the best thing of all.
Yeah.
if someone's young, you listen to this. Go be a creator of some sort. Know how to create out of nothing. Versus, I don't. That kind of stuff. It's like for you to get that good is. That's probably about the same, probably less odds than being a professional basketball player. It's going to be harder because you're competing with the people that just physically they're not going to make it to the NBA. So right there, you knock off all these people. Well, every human on earth can play NBA 2K. So to be the dude that's the best at this, even though it's an outlet, you're like, well, the odds of that are insane. Which, all right, if you want to go for it, it's like, I guess go for it. But there's not like creating is still. If you're a creator, that's what I always feel good with stand up, because I don't think you can I've created stand up, created an act. I have something
from nothing.
And so you know how to, that's like if you know how to build a house, you're like, you're never not being a house because you're like, I can build a house. So I know how to do, like, it's, and I feel like it's, we have so many like just weird jobs. And then it's like, well, these kids are making tons of money. And you're like, even when it's YouTube and you're like, well, it's like that person unwraps presents and they're worth, they make $30 million a year.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. But that's still, for some reason, they're doing something that makes you watch them.
Yeah.
That does not mean that there's just $30 million out there to be. You have to work whatever they do. And what they have to do is they have to do it every single day. Even this kid that plays NBA 2K, he has to play it, honestly, probably 12 hours a day. And you just got to sit there and think about it all day long. So if you find yourself being even a little distracted, it's like, enjoy NBA 2K. But if you're even a little like, oh, I didn't play for a month, you will not be that kid.
Yeah.
You just can't be.
Yeah.
When I played World of Warcraft, when I moved to Nashville in high school, I moved in the summer. I had no friends. I did football workouts in the morning, and then I've got all day. Right, I'll play World of Warcraft, and I got into it. I would play it a lot. that summer. And in my guild was this guy named Dadel. That was his name. Doddle, actually. Doddle was his name. And he played all day, dude. People would log on and go, "What'd you guys do today?" Meaning, what did you do in the real world? And this guy would go, "Well, I did some herbing, and then I he would talk about he's been on the game all day." And I finally got to a point where I was like, "How do you play this all day?" And he told me he was a bus driver in Canada, and he got in an accident, sued the city, and now he just lives off a disability, and he just plays World of Warcraft all day. And there was like maybe 10 minutes where I was like, that's the life, dude.
Yeah.
And then it got real sad after that. But yeah, that guy would play. I think about him sometimes. He's probably still playing. You know?
Get back on. See if you can find him.
Well, that was
different. Yeah, he plays a different game.
That was 16 years ago.
Yeah.
But he played at 12, 13 hours a day minimum. And that was his life on there. And it wasn't even that
we
good.
play, like me and Nick play NBA 2K all the time. Like, it's fun. I love it. Video games but it's
video games are great. They're a good distraction.
They'll eat your life up.
Yes,
I told a story downstairs before you were here about how I don't know how to play NBA 2K. You and I played on the tour bus. I was the Lakers All-Star team, which was
all-time Lakers.
All-time Lakers.
Yeah.
Magic, Kobe, LeBron,
Shaq.
Kareem, Shaq, Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
You were like the 2012 Sacramento Kings.
Yeah.
And it went to overtime.
And they was playing, but it was barely playing. Yeah. It was fun. LeBron
but if you
on
go
the
play
bench.
with them, is like those kind of kids. Like, I don't think it would be fun. They would just destroy you.
Yeah.
And you go. But I mean, I don't want to say that guy did work hard, but it's like you gotta. It seems in everybody's head, you go, well, that kid, he playing video games. Like, I could go do. Everybody thinks they could go do that, and you're like, you can't.
Yeah.
This kid did work. It was his whole life. To
Worked
get
out
to
his
this point.
thumbs
And like,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
No,
I don't know.
seriously.
No, I think he just plays. I don't think he works out his thumbs. But he just plays. But it's like, I mean, he has to be thinking about it all day long.
You think he did what OJ did in prison, like works out his hands a lot? Put your hands in sand. You ever do that? That's a good baseball player.
Really?
Oh, really?
Put your hands in sand and just kind of,
Yeah,
it's nice.
Wow.
I asked our intern, Amelia, who's I think 16, who kids her age idolize. She said Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
A lot of them Taylor Swift. BTS, who I know of.
really.
Behind the,
She said K-pop is popular among her friends. And then I had never heard of them. Blackpink.
Oh, yeah. They're another K-pop.
They're like the female version of BTS.
oh, I thought it was like a black version of Pink.
But is idolizing kind of the wrong word? Like, it's like I don't know if you're fans.
Yeah, I mean,
Idolizing is
that's true, but I don't know.
Idolizing, I think, is who you're trying to be. Like,
yeah.
Probably at 16, you're probably maybe growing out of that, but I don't know. You might
It's
still
an
want to be like them.
all-girl South Korean girl group.
Yeah.
Biggest girl group in the world.
But I don't know. Idolizing, and it's just different thing. Idolizing feels a little more serious.
100%.
I guess, would we idolize Seinfeld?
I attribute him to that because I'm like trying to match his work ethic.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn from him and trying to adapt that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what I think idolizing is.
Hey, lionize? I'm trying to think of a better word for it.
It's good that we're all swinging now. But
No, lionize is a word.
What is it?
Yeah. It's just to
I thought you were doing a bit.
to make a lion. To treat a person as if he were important or a celebrity.
They're saying "Lying Eyes," like the Eagles song.
Yeah, I think
Like, even a hero is.
I do number 3.
to behave as a lion.
Dusty would point out, if you were here, we shouldn't idolize anyone. Idols are
Well,
bad.
Of course. Yeah.
So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, like, even idolizing Seinfeld. I don't know if I would say idolizing.
You can look up to him.
But yeah, you look up.
Yeah.
He was an inspiration. Maybe.
Like worship? Is that the word we're looking
Yeah. You want to be like, because I do all the comedy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like we talked about this weekend. I think it was Bob Newhart said that we're like magpies, like comedians.
Mhm.
You see some like things that comedians you look up to do, and you try to learn from that and add that to your pile of like these things you believe or try,
Mhm.
and to become better. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
We lionize them.
Well,
Well,
it's
hold
funny
on.
the word lionize.
Well, this is what's interesting. It's the guys that we're talking about. It's because we're comedians.
Mhm.
But do these girls that look up to Blackpink, do they want to be in
More
a
Korean?
Korean girl
I
group?
think they're influenced by them right now.
Influenced in what way, though? Like, are they trying to be musicians? Or
No, they try to maybe dress like them.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
like their kind of style and all that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. And it's
I
like
went through that.
cool. And so it's like they're probably very influenced by them. Like, I don't know if they idolize. I think Taylor Swift could probably have some real people idolize her because
sure.
you got some,
Mhm.
Tom
older-
Cruise does.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise was at her concert this weekend. Did you see that?
No, was he
No.
really?
Dancing.
Oh,
Wow.
having a good time.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Wow.
But it's, there's probably, but idolizing is it's a tough word because it seems a little too much
Mhm.
I agree.
to be like,
Well, hero, I feel like is the same thing.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some real heroes out there,
Yeah.
but
Right. Like who?
well, I had a list.
Captain
here.
America.
Yeah.
Superman.
Revere's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good
Revere's
one.
great.
Reverence for them.
Yeah.
What about this one, Nate? Yeah, that's a good one.
Apotheosize.
I like
Canonize,
canonize. You shoot
yeah.
it out of
Hero
stuff.
worship.
Deified.
Wait, canonize? I don't like canonize.
It's like lionize, but you shoot.
Canon? He just been acting like a cannon. Well,
It's batting average going up.
yeah.
You guys a great hang.
Admire. What about people you
Admire.
admire?
Oh, admire. Well, that was
Yeah.
right
There
in
you
front
go.
of us.
Yeah.
There you go. Adore.
Admire.
Admire.
Admire is good, but I think revere is. What does revere mean?
That means you respect them.
To have
Yeah.
reverence.
2 lanterns or one.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Two
One or 2
lanterns.
lanterns. Paul Revere.
Oh,
Paul Revere.
All right, batting average is going down.
Just looking at the comments.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, idolize.
Fly ball on the wall.
Yeah. Admires probably a better word.
Admire. There's
Yeah.
people you admire.
I think revere is Seinfeld would be. I would revere Seinfeld.
I think that.
Because I think that gives him for what he meant to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a much more respectable word.
I think so.
Like it's a very
Mhm.
I revere Seinfeld.
Yeah.
And it's like that's yeah.
Yeah.
I like listen to interviews of him.
Admire and adore feel. I think I'd feel
Adore
weird saying
feels
that
like,
about a guy.
Adore, definitely. But
Yeah.
it's not weird
I
to
go,
say
I
you
adore.
admire somebody. You admire his
It feels
Uh,
somewhat romantic.
Yeah, I guess admire. Yeah, adore does seem romantic. I don't think. Yeah,
You go, hey, what's up, man? Just want to let you know I deify you.
Yeah.
Adore you.
You
I
go,
deify you.
yeah.
I venerate
Hey
you.
man,
Yeah.
I've just been thinking about you.
Yeah, I just exalt. I just think of you. You're so exalted.
Bow down's better.
Hey, Jerry, I bow down to you. That's crazy. I like to dote on you a little bit.
Put on a pedestal's not bad.
Yeah, put it on a pedestal. No, put it on a pedestal
I thought that's discouraging.
implies like
Yeah.
it's you're wrong to do so.
Ah,
right?
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so. That's
Yeah,
why
you're
it's a weak match down
All
here.
right.
yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
thesaurus. They're fun. They're fun. I used to love thesaurus.
Dusty doesn't believe in those.
He's back, baby.
Yeah. That's a pretty good one right there.
That was
Yeah,
That was good.
I listen.
yeah. All right.
All right, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
We did it.
Think
Oh
it's
man,
good. Yeah.
we're closing on that punchline.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you did it.
Get out
We
on
did it.
top.
Yeah.
You should say
Yeah.
thank you, good night.
We
and walk
wait-
out.
Thank you, everybody.
We
Was
waited
there any
almost
other
2
hero or-
hours for
or
that.
like-
I mean, in the
I
early
don't know.
days, it was all like aviators. It was Charles Lindbergh and
It was like real thing.
Chuck Yeager.
Chuck Yeager, Neil
Yeah.
Armstrong, people like that, Amelia Earhart.
Yeah. Amelia, yeah.
They were like heroes.
Yeah.
Right.
And now it's kind of celebrity-ish.
Much more celebrity-ish. Always sports figures. Babe Ruth, Muhammad Ali. That's
Mhm.
always been a thing.
Yeah.
The biggest, in the world we've talked about are like Ronaldo and
Caitlin Clark. It's a big one
Caitlin
now.
Clark.
Yeah.
Yep.
for girls, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
for
think-
everybody.
yeah,
but
For everybody.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Some
Yeah.
real tickets.
Yeah.
That's what Nate respects.
I will say this.
I mean,
he's like, you know how hard it is to sell that amount of tickets? Yeah.
I will say I idolize Nate, but we all need people who, when you're starting out in comedy, that, are doing things like you want to do. And when in Nashville, the comedy scene, when I started, there wasn't a lot of guys that are really taking it serious. Nobody else was clean. So I remember the first time I saw you at Zany's, I'm like, man, this guy's funny. He's clean. He's telling jokes. I remember your whole set about stuff that I would talk about in a less funny way. You and Keith Alberstadt is another one. Keith Alberstadt, whenever he would come to town, it was good to know that these guys are successful and they're doing it the way I would like to do it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's
good to have those guys around.
Absolutely. And we all need people like that in our life.
Yeah.
Every step of the way.
Yeah.
People to chase. We were talking about people to chase.
Yeah. I think that's like, there's competition, but then there's the people you're chasing because you admire what they've done.
They show you that you can be successful.
Yeah, I adore them. I look at them longfully.
Yeah. I glorify.
Yeah, I admire them. Yeah. You need people that show you can be successful doing it the way you would like to do it.
Yeah. And that, like, I what I respect is that it's just the hard work. It's like, just working. And I have tremendous. That's why I exalt.
You're not going to top Thesaurus.
Yeah.
No. Can we wait? Set me up for that again.
All right.
That was fun.
Well, that was good. Where are you guys at?
You want to say where you're at?
Steven will be there. Are you there? No.
We'll be hanging out.
We'll be hanging out.
In.
Oh yeah, y'all coming to hang out.
Greg Warren and Dustin Nickerson.
Okay. And then so we're
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were.
We are at Indianapolis. We're speaking of Caitlin Clark. Where Caitlin Clark play. So Wednesday and Thursday there, Springfield, Missouri. Then going back to Omaha, it was the other one was an added show. So this was the first original show. And then Rosemont, Illinois. And then
all arenas.
that is the kind of the end of the Be Fun tour. We go. There's a show. Like I'll have
doing some festivals,
doing some festivals, some fairs, and some stuff. And I mean, look, I'm not going to have. I don't this kind of stuff. You've been to shows. I mean, I think we're going to cities that I haven't been to because I don't be coming thinking I have a new hour. I do not have a new hour. That's what I got to figure out.
Where are you going in Connecticut?
I don't know. Foxwoods Casino.
No, the town. I mean,
Meshantucket. Meshantucket.
Yeah,
sounds like a cop buddy movie.
Yeah.
Meshantucket.
Yeah,
Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yeah.
So Meshantucket Casino. Then we go back to Vegas and Minnesota State Fair. Yeah, a lot of the Fargo Dome, which will be fun. And then what is it? Oh, Highland, another casino. Yeah, it's like casinos, like all that kind of stuff. And then, and then so it's roughly besides those cities, it's like this is the end of the big bulk of the Be Funny tour. Then it'll be kind of sporadic kind of stuff until we get started on the next one. Special will come out this year. I will say probably later, and it's going to come out later in the year. But it's some fun. Yeah, there's a lot of some pretty fun stuff that it should be figuring out at the end of this year. So
this Sunday, I'm back at the Grand Ole Opry. That wasn't my poster that you saw, but I will be there. It's the first time I've been there this year. It's been a while. So
nice.
It's such an honor to get to do the Grand Ole Opry. So I'm excited to be back this Sunday.
Man. This weekend, I am in Stephen Rogers' hometown, Syracuse, New York, at the Syracuse Funny Bone. Just Saturday. 2 shows Saturday. So come on to one of them. Or come to, you're not going to want to go to both, but one of them is going to be pretty good. And, I won't tell you which one. But then one other thing I want to plug, July 13th, I'm in Lake Forest, Illinois, between Chicago and Milwaukee. I'm doing a theater there in Lake Forest, Illinois. So if you're in the Chicago, Milwaukee area, I'll be there July 13th.
Someone edit a map over his hands.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, yeah. What about you, Steve?
I'm out with Nate this weekend. Can I plug my recording?
Yeah.
No.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. October 11th and 12th, I'll be recording my special at the Comedy Fort in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's called the Thesaurus.
Yeah. It's called Thesaurus. It's going to be great. Please come. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great club.
Yeah.
That
it's
is
such
a great
good
club.
room.
Yeah. That is a great club. All right. That's it. We love you. Hope you have a great rest of the week and see you next week. Bye. Nateland is produced by Nateland Productions and by me, Nate Bargatze, and my wife Laura on the Audio Boom platform. Recording and editing for the show is done by Genovations Media. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to catch us next week on the Nateland Podcast.